Welcome back to the Indy Boys Racing Podcast. How are all you beautiful people doing today? Episode number 41, guys. We are almost done with season 1 of Indy Boys. That is insane.
Wow.
Absolutely
That's
wild.
That's crazy.
My name is Tristan Grider, joined with, as always, my incredible co-hosts, Daniel Chaney and Justin Cox. We have a very eventful show for you guys today. Jay, how are we doing today?
Man, I'm exhausted right now. I'm just gonna be honest. So I might not be very energetic this episode. This whole week I've just been drained of energy for some reason, but I don't know. It's good. We'll get through it though. Got a pretty fun show for you guys today, talking about F1 at COTA, which was an amazing race. For me,
Facts.
second best race of the season behind Silverstone. And,
Oh, yeah.
And
In my opinion, best finish of the season.
yeah, I can agree. Yeah. And yeah, so I don't know. I mean, we got a good episode going today. Maybe a little lower energy from me, maybe, but sorry about that. But Daniel, what's up?
Dude, I'm also kind of low energy. I'm not gonna lie. Very busy day today for me. So if today's episode seems a little rushed, I apologize. Homeboys got to make some money, got to work.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a good weekend of racing. I thought NASCAR was fine. It wasn't like bad. I feel like a lot of people were saying the race was bad. I didn't think it was bad. I still thought it was good. It was just dominated by one driver, which doesn't automatically make it a bad race. Hot take, come at me. And then COTA was really good because COTA's an underrated track. I know we just say COTA bad, America racing bad. We have so many races. COTA's a good track. Just be honest.
I think it's good with the new cars, the new regulations. So, So yeah. But Tristan, what's up with you, man?
You know, I'm doing good. Filming the show a little bit later in the week this week, guys. We're coming to you on a Wednesday. So we have a lot more stuff to talk about in motorsport media, but otherwise I'm doing good. I want to go really quick over the weekend winners as we always do. Gonna start with the Truck Series. Ty Majeski brought it home this weekend in his second win of the season. Jay should have picked Ty Majeski, man. Xfinity Series, Noah Gragson brought it home, his 8th win of the season. Me and Daniel both get a point for that. And then in the Cup Series, Kyle Larson brought home his 3rd win of the season. So points-wise for NASCAR, me and Daniel both get 1. Jay doesn't get a point in the NASCAR Series. He would have got 1 if the Ty Majeski pick would have been picked. But Corey Heim ended up getting a top 5, who was Jay's pick. So he was actually finished the best out of it.
I'm so mad.
He actually finished the best out of all of those guys. And the Trucks Championship 4 has been confirmed officially. It will be Zane Smith, Ty Majeski, Chandler Smith, and Ben Rhodes. That is the Championship 4. If you would have told me that was the Championship 4 at the beginning of the season, honestly, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. Ty Majeski would have been a little bit of a surprise. But to be honest with you, Ty Majeski is the surprise out of that Championship 4. But hey, hot streak when it matters. You could win a championship from it. Xfinity Series Championship 4, as of right now, is Josh Berry, Noah Gragson, Ty Gibbs, and AJ Allmendinger, with Berry and Gragson locked in. I bet you we don't see any change, and I bet you this stays as the Championship 4, just in my personal opinion. And then the Cup Series Championship 4 right now is Joey Logano, who's locked in, Ross Chastain, Chase Elliott, and William Byron. So I personally think we'll see a lot of change, but we'll talk about that when it comes to the NASCAR questions. F1. This week, the podium was Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, and Charles Leclerc. Points-wise, me and Daniel both got 2 points for our podium. I had Max and Lewis. Daniel had Max and Leclerc. And Jay got the winner with Max. So we'll talk about points a little bit later, but I'm just saying, it might be a good weekend for Tristan Grider. I mean, you guys saw the poll out
It was a good
there.
week for me too. Calm
Hey,
down.
I'm just saying, you had a good week, but I also had a good week. But hey, all of us get points this week. Me and Daniel both pick up 3 this week. Just Jay picks up 1, so that's pretty lit. Coming down to the end of the season, guys, go ahead and tweet us at Indy Boys Podcast who you guys think will win the predictions competition. It's gonna be exciting, but let's go ahead, guys. Transition into the NASCAR news. Let's go, Motorsport Media. All right, guys, let's go ahead and start with NASCAR news. Gonna start with the Truck Series news. First thing, Chase Purdy will not return to Hattori Racing in 2023. And personally, I think this is the end of Chase Purdy. This is the second straight season he's been let go after 1 year, let go by GMS last year, moved over to Toyota for Hattori. Absolutely horrendous season for Purdy, finished last in full-time drivers' points. I don't see Purdy returning to the Truck Series anytime soon. Maybe needs to go back to ARCA, or maybe needs to develop in a different series. I don't know. I personally think he's done. Then other Truck Series news. The ball buster himself, Daniel Dye, will move to the Truck Series next season.
I knew you were gonna say it. I knew you were gonna say
I'm just saying. But hey, he's gonna move to the Truck Series in 2023, driving for GMS. He's gonna be in that 43 truck, which we saw in partnership with Ray and Brothers Racing. But I'm guessing he's just gonna be that 43 full time since Petty GMS now has that partnership. The 43 can be ran. So Daniel Dye is going to be in the Truck Series. Well deserved. Finished second in points in ARCA this season. I think he should move to the Truck Series. Personally, I think Sanchez, Dye, and Carruth should all be in a higher series next season. Carruth could be in Xfinity or in trucks next season. Dye obviously going to be in trucks, and I'm pretty sure Nick Sanchez is going to go full time with Big Machine Racing in 2023 in the Xfinity
As he
series.
should.
I think he should. But that's not confirmed yet. Something that is confirmed is that Spire Motorsports has confirmed their 2023 lineup. Corey LaJoie and Ty Dillon. So Ty Dillon is going to be in that second spot. Interesting. What can we say? I mean,
Tony Donahue's favorite NASCAR driver.
Tony Donahue's favorite NASCAR driver, but it's not a good ride, and I would not be surprised if this is Ty Dillon's second end of his Cup Series tenure.
He goes from running 26 to like 32nd now.
Yeah, I guess so. And I'm not going to lie.
He's still going to find a way to wreck the whole field.
Corey, I'm surprised to see the contract extension here for Corey LaJoie.
That's what I'm saying.
If I personally thought that LaJoie was going to try to move up into a different ride this for the next season. However, rides kept getting closed left and right. I thought he might have been a contender for a third 2311 racing car, but Tyler Reddick ended up getting that spot, as he should. Here's the thing. If Corey LaJoie does not finish in the top 25 in points next season, I think he's done in the Cup Series. I get that he's one of the faces of the NASCAR Cup Series, going to WWE events, having his podcast Stacking Pennies, but the results aren't there. He finished 30. He's going to finish 30th because Kurt Busch isn't racing these next 2 weeks, so he's going to officially move into 30th. It's not a good season, and this is the second straight season he's finished 30th in points. Still his best season of his career was when he finished 29th in points with GoFast. I think he's done after 2023 if he does not have a good year. He needs to get a win. He needs to finish in the top 5. He needs to be better than what he has, and so far, it's not been good. Bubba Wallace will return to racing this weekend at Martinsville. He was suspended last week for the incident that happened at Las Vegas, and he'll be back this weekend. John Hunter Nemechek ended up replacing him in the Cup Series, qualified in the top 10, and finished 27th in the Cup Series event. So that's all I got for NASCAR news. I'm going to go a quick little thing about NHRA because it involves a NASCAR driver. Tony Stewart will debut in the NHRA for his team, Tony Stewart Racing. I just think that's a cool little event, and he brought a lot of sponsors onto that machine. Speaking of Tony Stewart, I learned about this on Out of the Groove this week, and we're going to talk about Out of the Groove a little bit in a second as well. But Tony Stewart was supposed to be the starter at Homestead this weekend, and I guess with some of the drama that took place over the last couple of weeks, that they didn't really want Tony Stewart to have a microphone in his hand, so they pulled that trigger really quick. But speaking of Out of the Groove, this, in my opinion, is the most exciting news of the week. Xfinity Series news. Brendan Poole will drive the 6 car. So Ryan Vargas won't be in the 6 car. Brendan Poole will be in the 6 car at Phoenix. Sponsored by Eric Estep's show Out of the Groove in celebration of him getting close to 200,000 subscribers. That is incredible. I believe he is the first YouTuber to sponsor a full car, and that is just incredible.
I mean, if you count
Congratulations.
like Logan Paul with Prime or
I-
whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, if you count, I'm saying if you
Out of the
count,
group
that,
is
if you
Joe.
count that, I'm saying
Yeah.
if you count that. But yeah,
I'm
no,
pretty sure Mr.
or
Beast
any of like
has
any of the
car as
barstool
well.
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, but he's the first NASCAR guy to sponsor a full car
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
not
yeah,
an
yeah.
associate sponsor.
Mm.
Congratulations. The diecast looks incredible. You guys should purchase it. It's absolutely sick. The first 250 people, I'm pretty sure it's already done, but the first 250 people to purchase the diecast will be on the back of the 6 car. I'm going to buy a shirt because I think it looks pretty sick. It's just a cool design. It's very reminiscent of the 2005 Matt Kenseth scheme.
yeah.
So
Mm.
I noticed that. I
Speaking
was
of Matt-
like, of
speaking of-
course, Eric.
I mean, he
was
said that in
like-
his video.
yeah. And speaking of Matt Kenseth, Chris Buescher is going to run a throwback scheme to Matt Kenseth this weekend at
Which is sick,
Martinsville.
by
It's
the
going to
way.
be similar to the old Fifth Third Bank cars, which
Yeah.
actually won a lot of races with Matt Kenseth back when he was with that team. So that's pretty
And
sick.
y'all
I'm
know
going to
for some reason I love Fifth Third Bank cars, so I was
Facts.
I was happy with seeing that. Not gonna lie.
It's a pretty sexy scheme. Anyway, going to transition. Let's go to F1 racing to the man with the Alpine hat,
Okay.
Jay.
All right, so
That's a sick hat. I remember when you bought that hat, I was like, damn, that's a sick hat.
Sick hat. All right. So, to start off, we don't have very good news to start off. I'm going to say rest in peace to Dietrich Mateschitz. He is the co-founder of Red Bull and Red Bull Racing. He passed away over this past weekend while they were here in the U.S. And a lot of the Red Bull and Red Bull family definitely took this loss very hard. So yeah, rest in peace to Dietrich Mateschitz, because he has built a legacy with Red Bull Racing and like basically like the motorsports in general. So yeah, to move on.
The
to,
only
go
owner I
ahead.
think I've ever seen that's the only owner I think I've seen that has been in like that's been in motocross and has been in F1, NASCAR. He was in everything, and it's going to be a big loss to the motorsports community.
Oh, definitely. To move on, something small here. For Formula E, Cape Town, South Africa, becomes the third new city to host an E-Prix, and that'll be in 2023. So, I mean, F1's going to South Africa as well, Kyalami. So, it's only right to bring Formula E there as well, so might as well, right? So, yeah. Also, new news is that Williams will sign Logan Sargent for the 2023 season as long as he meets the super license requirements, which he can meet those in the F2 finale at Abu Dhabi. So wherever he finishes in the
It's not complete, Tristan.
I'll let you in a sec. Let me finish. As long as he can finish well in the Abu Dhabi season finale and get a good points finish and get the super license points, he will drive for Williams next season. Not Tristan.
I called it 4 for 4.
It's not signed. It's not signed yet. He still has to get the
Hey.
points.
It'll be fine. He's
Dude, if he
giving
doesn't
me
get
the last
above if he doesn't give above P6, Mick Schumacher's he's gonna be really happy because
I
that
had
means
it
he
too.
gets a ride for next
I
year.
had it too. I'm looking at the silly season thing that I made, and I had him as going to Williams.
Who, Schumacher or Sargent?
Sargent.
Oh, I had Logan going to.
Yeah.
I've had him since probably July. I have had.
Oh no, I know you
Logan
have.
Sargent. Yeah.
I know you have. But actually, now the last thing that I have for F1, Sauber to become Audi Works F1 team from 2026 onward. It's an interesting change. That broke last night. It's kind of cool. We got to report on some F1 news that just broke. We don't normally get to do that a lot of the time. But yeah, so that's pretty much all I got for F1 Motorsports Media. Right
Personally, I think that's where Mick Schumacher is going to end up. I think we see him maybe step away for a couple of seasons, and then he comes back and drives in
Yeah, but
2026.
aren't they not doing anything till 2026? Like that 4 years or 3 years, I guess. That's
You could see
4
him-
years because 3 years gap.
Honestly, I can see him maybe coming over to IndyCar racing for a couple of seasons.
I don't know. I don't know.
No,
I
you
think
never know.
I, I don't know. It's a weird situation for me.
I mean, Grosjean's still trying to get back in F1, so
Yeah, well, that ain't happening because he's barely an IndyCar.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Is Grosjean?
I'm feisty right now.
I don't think Grosjean wants to get back to
Yeah,
F1 though.
he's said that he likes IndyCar a lot more than F1. But
Anyway, Daniel, what's going on in IndyCar, man? Start with those lights news, bro.
alrighty. So starting off, we do officially know that HMD has announced all of their drivers. So first of all, the eighth driver is Josh Pearson.
Well deserved.
But they said, we're not done. Ernie Francis
Nine.
Jr. will still be driving for Force Indy with a partnership from HMD Motorsports.
So they have 9 drivers.
Therefore, in a way, 9 drivers. Are you not
Insane.
entertained? What
There's
more do
also-
they need to do?
However, because Francis is technically a Penske guy, right?
Oh,
So HMD, Penske, Daniel's been calling it since the beginning. Could this lead to the Malukas partnership
I have
with him going to Penske?
been calling this since day one. My master plan. It's all falling into place. The dominoes are falling. He's friends with the Bus Bros. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Just you wait, boys. I don't care that Will Power just won the championship. I don't care. It's happening.
He's a Penske guy. We all know he's gonna end up at Penske. So
He's
it's
gonna be a
inevitable.
Penske guy.
It's inevitable.
He can't end up in Andretti. He can't go to Andretti anymore because that's where Kirkwood
Unless
is.
Ganassi pulls out the big bucks and scoops him up, he's a Penske guy.
He's
Like-
he's Penske guy. I don't think he'll ever turn his back on Penske. Honestly, if he does make it an IndyCar, he'll stay at Penske his entire IndyCar career. Is what I think.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. The master plan. It's all falling to place. David Malukas to Penske 2024? It's happening. Master plan. L plan, if you will. And then finishing up this Indy Lights news, Jacob Abel will be returning to his family team, Abel Motorsports, in 2023. But in the IndyCar side of things, we got one new driver announcement and one re-sign contract.
Wait, hold on. Were you guys talking about David Lucas or Ernie Francis Jr. just?
I was talking about the grand plan of David Malukas joining Penske.
Okay, I thought you were talking about Ernie Francis. That's why.
Bro.
Okay,
I think Ernie's still got to
sorry.
develop for a couple
sorry.
more seasons.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. Ernie will probably be a Penske guy if he can
Yeah.
develop.
That's
how they want
That's what I was talking about. Okay, my fault.
Yeah, no, I kind of figured, and I was like, well, I guess both. I think both of
Yeah.
them will end up being Penske guys.
All right, sorry.
That's what I was saying about like scooped up by Ganassi.
Mm.
But moving on to IndyCar, Colton Herta will be returning to Andretti Autosports. He has re-signed a new deal. His previous deal was going to end after next season. He is now signed on with Andretti Autosports through the 2027 season. So he has 5 more seasons with this team. Well, 3, 4, 5. 5 more seasons. Made me count on my fingers. And the big part about this deal that is really important is that they said if the F1 deal ends up happening, it can roll straight through. Same contract. They don't have to renegotiate. But I think they also still have the flexibility if he finds an F1 ride, he can get out of the contract. I could be wrong. I believe I read that.
Cambridge
and
is
then-
going to stick with him for
Oh,
the
yeah.
whole time.
Gamebridge,
we could see an
Gamebridge
F1
is ready
sponsor,
to up their bucks. Gamebridge knows what they're doing. That's all I'm saying.
Hopefully Herder knows what he's doing and he can finish top 5 in points.
Listen. We're not doing this discussion quite yet. Let's save it till next season. But moving on to the last bit of news for IndyCar, we do have one new driver announcement for the Indy 500. I know it's not full-time driver announcement we're all waiting for, but Arrow McLaren SP will have 4 cars. and Tony Kanaan will be driving the 4th. So Tony Kanaan will not be returning to Chip Ganassi Racing next year. Still don't know if it'll be his final Indy 500, but I believe 4 of the top 5 finishers in the Indy 500 will all be driving for Air McLaren next year. Outside of the winner. Like, because it was Ericsson, then Pato, then TK, right?
I don't think TK got podium. I think TK was 4th. I'd have to look back here.
I think Rosenquist was 4th. I don't think Rosenquist got the podium. And then Rossi was 5th. Unless Rossi was 4th and Rosenquist was 5th. Anyways, 4 of the top 5 finishers in the Indy 500 are going to be on the same team, and that is really scary if you're any other team. I would say Air McLaren SP, probably some early favorites to win the Indy 500. But it's October 2022. That's in May 2023. We're not going to speculate too much yet.
It was Ericsson. It was Ericsson, Award, Kanaan, Rosenquist, Rossi. So you were right.
Yeah. 2 through 5. That's the Air McLaren lineup next year, and that is very intimidating.
A little bit.
Not wrong. Crazy. All right. Well, we'll keep reporting on all the motorsport media news that comes to pass next week. So let's go ahead and transition, guys. We got some race review questions. Okay, race weekend. It came and went. We talked about the winners earlier. Let's talk Championship 4 for the NASCAR Cup Series, guys. 1 driver is locked in Joey Logano. And there's 3 guys that could get a spot there. As of right now, it's Chastain, Chase Elliott, and William Byron. Who is the championship for? I'm going to start this with Jay. Who's your championship for now going in to Martinsville?
Okay.
Because I think it has to be different.
I'm going to go with... Because a lot of this can change because a lot of these dudes that are out, like, from Blaney up can easily get in. I think Christopher Bell and Chase Briscoe may not have a chance now. But I think that it, I want to say, if Blaney can have a really good weekend and win some stages, Blaney can do it, or even win the race. A lot of these guys right here are banking on winning the race probably right now. Like, if you're not Joey Logano, you're going to win the race. Like, that's what you're trying to do. I don't know. That's a tough question, honestly, because I'm looking at the points. Like, that's a tough question. That's Daniel.
You want to read mine really quick because I can read who mine is.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so Joey Logano, obviously locked in to everyone's championship for it right now, and I actually have him as my champion for this season. As of right now, as the playoffs started, Blaney was my preseason pick. I'm going to go Joey Logano. I think he stays in. I'm going to say Ross Chastain has another good weekend. He gets in. He's had a great playoffs. I think Chastain keeps his spot currently, 19 points to the good. I'm going to say William Byron gets into the championship 4. I think he just has a good weekend. He's great at Martinsville. I think he gets in. And then the race winner is going to be Denny Hamlin. I think Denny Hamlin gets into the championship 4. Chase Elliott's season and his playoffs remind me too much of Kevin Harvick in 2020. Too much. He has a win like Harvick did, and that has been his only top 10. That's it. I don't think Chase Elliott makes the championship 4. I think Hamlin's going to bump him out.
Well, it's crazy because any of these guys, other than Joey Logano, like if Ross Chastain has a really bad day, he can be out of the championship 4.
I don't think that'll happen, but I think I'm not counting out Ryan Blaney. I'm not counting out Chris Bell.
Oh, what if Denny dumps Ross and takes?
Yeah, because that's what I was gonna say. Because Denny always gets into something at the fall Martinsville race.
Imagine,
you went wrong.
Like he finally gives his full payback.
My only counterpoint would be Ross Chastain has stayed out of everybody's business since the playoffs
He
started.
has. He
That's
has.
what I was
He
gonna
has. He's kept his nose
So
I
clean.
think
Pretty.
that would be
Chastain
very
is a
bold
lot.
by Hamlin.
And that would be crazy that Trackhouse Racing would make the championship 4 in their second season.
Hmm.
That would be insane.
And I mean, Daniel
Hear me
Suarez
out.
made it to the round of 12. He almost made it to the round of 8. Like he was 10th.
But
So
we're also forgetting this is basically a Ganassi car. It's
Yeah, and
basically
it's
just
also
shut
yeah.
your
it's also
face.
crazy
Shut
that
your
looking
face.
at these playoffs and
I don't say that as a bad
points,
thing.
Oh, okay.
Austin
Okay.
Dillon was eliminated in the first round. Right now, he's 11th in points. Like having a great year.
Yeah.
Like good for AD. Having a better season right now than Tyler Reddick. That's insane. All right, let's go ahead and Daniel. Who is your championship for?
Okay, so Logano obviously. Wish I could pick somebody besides him. I only have 3 options. Still think I think Elliott's gonna get it. I say that because he qualified first here earlier in the season, finished 10th, which is a little disappointing from that, but I still think he's good here. Do I want to? I'm so conflicted. I think I'm still going to pick Chastain, but I could easily see him not making it. And for some reason, I don't think Byron's going to make it. I don't know why. I just feel like something's going to happen. It's just a matter of if I think it's going to be Denny or Blaney. I
I have mine now.
think I'm still going to go Denny.
Okay.
I think I'm going to go Denny. So I think it's going to be Logano, Chastain, Elliott, Denny. So basically the top 4, but switch Denny and Byron.
So do you think Denny's going to win the race? Or do you think
Maybe, but he doesn't have to win the race because he's only 5 points behind Byron. I think he gets like a top 3.
Okay.
I feel like Byron. I don't know. I feel like he might not necessarily wreck out, but I feel like he might have some issues or something.
Okay. All right, Jay, who is your pick?
I'm
For
going
the championship.
Of course, with Joey Logano, you have to pick Logano because he's already in. But I'm gonna say Chase Elliott wins the race. William Byron and Denny Hamlin.
Okay. So Chastain's getting eliminated then.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. So a little bit of different picks for all of us guys. My second question. We saw John Hunter Nemechek fill in for Bubba Wallace in this past weekend at Homestead. Qualified incredible. Led his practice session and his qualifying session with fastest time. He's probably not going to get a Cup Series ride next season because I don't think he wants that. I think he's going to move up to the Xfinity Series. Should John Hunter Nemechek get a Cup Series ride with Toyota in the next 2 seasons? I'm going to start this one with Jay.
Yeah, I could see a lot of things moving around for Toyota in the next few seasons, especially with Kyle Busch leaving and probably Martin Truex Jr. is going to retire soon. Denny's probably going to retire soon. I can see a lot of things changing around for a lot of Toyota things. So yeah, I could see him with Toyota in the Cup Series soon. Like honestly, yeah.
I could see it as well. Daniel, what do you think?
I think absolutely in the next 2 years, he should be in the Cup Series. If you look at how things are going to shape out, Joe Gibbs Racing is going to go through a mega reset in the next few years. I think Bell will still be there. Bell's still young. Bell will be the face of Joe Gibbs Racing next year,
I
in
think
my
Bell's
opinion.
the next Denny Hamlin. In my opinion, I think
Yeah.
Christopher Bell is the next Denny Hamlin. I think he's a lifer at Joe Gibbs Racing.
Bell is going to be like one of the only people to commit to the 20 car. And then obviously Ty Gibbs, we know he's going to be in the 18. And then you got Denny and Truex, which Truex has said he's coming back for at least one more season. But I don't see it being more than one more season. I think I'm calling my shot. Babe Ruth. John Hunter Nemechek to the 19 in 2 seasons.
Ooh. Okay.
I still think
Personally-
Denny Denny will probably last one more season than Truex, at least.
I think Denny is going to retire after 2024, and then I think he brings the 11 to 2311 Racing because that's where the 11 is going to come in. And then I think the 11 is going to be a 2311 racing car, and then I think Joe Gibbs will be still a 4-car team, but the 11 will become the 81. We've seen them run Cup Series starts with the 81. In 2024, I think the Cup Series lineup at Joe Gibbs Racing will be Christopher Bell, Ty Gibbs. So Christopher Bell will be in the 20. Ty Gibbs will be in the 18. The 19 will be John Hunter Nemechek. And then the fourth car, whatever number it'll be, you think about it with the drivers that Joe Gibbs Racing has. Right now, we don't know what Corey Heim's plans are for these next couple of seasons. It's assumed that he will be racing in the Truck Series for DGR next season. They have Sammy Smith, who is Xfinity Series ready right now, not Cup Series ready. I think he could be Cup Series in a couple seasons. You have Corey Heim, pretty solid driver. And you have Trevor Bayne. That's it. That's all you have right now for people that could fill in the Cup Series in 2 seasons. So honestly, I don't know who that fourth car is going to be, but I think it could possibly be Trevor Bayne. And I don't want to say that just because I think Trevor Bayne is the next AJ Allmendinger and he's going to have a career revival in the Xfinity Series. But I don't know. But those are the questions, guys, for the Championship 4, for the Cup Series, Xfinity Series. We talk about it all the time. We pretty much know we're all going to pick Ty Gibbs and AJ Allmendinger to be our Championship 4, so we're not going to talk about that. And then John Hunter Nemechek, I personally think he should get a Cup Series ride these next couple seasons. So, Jay, you got some F1 questions. I know you do.
All right, so
the best finish of the F1 season.
All right, so we were at COTA this past weekend for the United States Grand Prix. Of the 2022 year, or I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry, I'm tired. But, so we all seen how the race played out. It was honestly a fantastic race. Do you guys think that COTA, because some of my friends that, like Derek and Mike and all of them, shout out to them, Aiden, they had voiced their opinions on, they feel that COTA was the best race of the year. Do you guys share a similar opinion?
Silverstone still tops it for me.
Mm-hmm.
COTA is my favorite track.
Yeah.
I've stated that since the beginning of the season. But Silverstone had action throughout the entire race.
Mm-hmm.
COTA, I feel like, picked up during the final 20 laps of this bad boy. I mean, watching it through and through, my dad sat and watched an F1 race with me. I just want to let you guys know that is unheard of.
Interesting.
And when Verstappen passed Hamilton with 5 to go, after the race finished, my dad goes, "That was a NASCAR race."
Yeah.
Like, the action was insane. Everything from Russell taking out Sainz in the first lap again, to the podium disputes, to Lewis Hamilton looking like he was going to win his first race of the season. Like, it was just a great race. However, Silverstone still tops it for me.
Okay. Daniel?
Silverstone was goated this year. I'm not even going to lie. I unfortunately wasn't able to watch this race live. I was just had to keep up with it on social media. So I can't say it was like the best race this season. But I definitely think it was up there based on like all the highlight stuff that I was able to watch. I think it was definitely a really good race. And I'm glad that people think it was the best race this season, but Silverstone was really good, and that's really hard for me to say any race can really top that this season.
Yeah. All right, so my next question, this is really only those 2 questions, or these are the only 2 questions I have. So early on in the race, well, it was like more towards the middle of the race, I believe. Maybe it was early on, I can't remember. It's something like that. It was like 25% to the race, something like that. I don't know, whatever. So we had a safety car restart after Valtteri Bottas' safety car for him getting stuck in a gravel trap. And then a few laps go by, and Fernando Alonso is making a move on Lance Stroll. And Alonso makes a jab to the left because he has the run, and he has the slipstream, and he's probably on overtake and such. And I think he had DRS at the time, so he's significantly faster. And Stroll, well, Alonso makes a move late, but he's allowed to do that. And intending to racing rules, normal racing rules, he is allowed to move late. Stroll jabs left with him as well, causing the two to have a collision, also causing Fernando Alonso to almost literally take flight. And Lance Stroll goes spinning, a bunch of debris everywhere, cars scattering, trying to get around it. So the rest of the race goes by, and Fernando Alonso is allowed to finish the race, and he ends up finishing 7th on a fantastic recovery drive.
No idea.
Yeah, I know. Well, we thought he was going to finish 7th, but he ended up getting a penalty after the race, and it was because Haas complained about Kevin Magnussen basically getting pulled out of points this season for people not getting or for them getting black and orange flags, which is like damaged cars. And Fernando Alonso did have a missing mirror, and that is deemed an unsafe car to drive. And he did it somehow, but but at that, like, that is a fair, in my opinion, it's a fair penalty in my opinion. And plus it has happened to Haas 3 times this season, I believe. And I think it's happened to Checo once this season. I can't remember. But
I think Checo's was back at near the beginning of the year.
yeah, that's not, yeah. But
Miami.
yeah, but Haas appealed the Alonso car and felt that the flag should have been shown for the Alonso car and it should have been parked. And because it's happened to them this season and it didn't happen for Alonso. So Haas put out their appeal for it, and they ended up winning. And so, do you guys think the penalty against Fernando Alonso is fair?
Yeah, if the car is unsafe to drive, he should get penalized for it.
Yeah. Okay.
So, however, all I was thinking though during that Lance Stroll and Fernando Alonso thing was when Daryl Waltrip, after Carl Edwards turned Kyle Busch to win a race, was, oh, that's a teammate. That's all.
That's a teammate. Yeah.
Even though they're not teammates this season, they will be next season.
Yeah.
So I mean, Daniel, what do you think?
Just about like the whole point thing. Just kind of like
was the penalty fair? Do you think it was fair? Because a lot of people are saying that it wasn't fair. Haas shouldn't have cried about it or whatever. So, or cried about it, I should put.
I mean, whether or not you think it's fair, stuff like this happens all the time.
Sad.
Stuff like this happens all the time. Whether or not you agree with it, this happens in NASCAR. It happens in F1. I don't really know if this has happened in IndyCar recently, so I'm not going to say IndyCar. I'm sure it has. There are questionable decisions made all the time. And honestly, I don't know if it was the right decision or not, but it happened. It's over. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just move on.
So
So
the thing about it is the stewards. So the race director made the call, but the stewards
Yeah.
actually did not agree with the race director's call, and that's why a lot of people are being.
Okay.
That's why a lot of people feel it's controversial, and
So like they think it's controversial because like the actual group that decided on it didn't have like one set agreement on it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
he had a missing mirror. I don't know which side of the car it was missing, but it was reported there was a missing mirror. He was driving without a mirror, and
yeah.
like it's an F1 car, so the mirrors are on the outsides of the cars, and they're not like a NASCAR where it's literally planted in the middle and it's always gonna be in the car. So in an F1 car, you kind of need a mirror.
It's a little important.
Yeah.
Just a bit.
So yeah, I don't know. So I believe, although I do have the Alpine hat, I feel that the penalty was fair. I do.
Yeah. But just saying though, that hat is absolutely sexy. Like, if we go to an F1 event next season, which I doubt we do, but if we, even if like when they have the IndyCar tent, do not let me leave the track without an F1 hat. Thank you. That is my talk. Don't care what team it's for. I just want one.
Okay.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and transition. Let's go predictions.
All right, so let's get started with predict. Oh, I always forget to make this thing pop up on here. Jeez, you guys on YouTube probably like yell at me every single time I do that. Okay, it's up there.
What are you doing?
So after last week, to try and get through this a little quick, because Danielle does have to go here quite soon. Tristan and Danielle picked up 3 points as we kind of discussed in the beginning of the episode. I picked up 1 point. Tristan now has a 1 point lead over me. He has 30. I have
That
29.
could never be done.
And Daniel has 27. So, yeah. So, with that
What
being said,
happened?
what happened? So, with that being said, let's go ahead. Let's move on. Let's get predictions done so that way we can get Daniel onto his working businessman that he is. Onto being
Oi,
the working businessman.
Businessman. Let's start with the race at Martinsville, guys. So we have 2 races at Martinsville, and then obviously we have the Mexico Grand Prix. So 3 races possible. If you count the group pick, possible 10 points this week. Here's what's going down. Some of the fill-in guys, one-off guys. We have Brandon Brown, who's going to be in the 08. So that's interesting. We have Kyle Weatherman in the 34, Raja Caruth in the 44, Nick Sanchez 48, and then that's really it. That's all of the guys that haven't been in seats before. However, this is the Xfinity Series, and this is Martinsville. So who am I going with? Who's going to lock themselves in?
Listen, can I just say mine? Because I've already established I'm
You can
picking the
already
same
write down
Xfinity
Noah
guy.
Gregson.
Yeah.
For I'm not picking Noah Gregson. This might come as a little bit of a surprise, guys, but this guy won Martinsville last season. I'm sorry, at the beginning of the year, he won Martinsville.
I'm going Brandon Jones.
I don't think he locks himself in, though.
Ooh.
He did well. I don't think he wins it, though. The guy who is going to win it is the guy that finished 3rd, which was AJ Allmendinger. I think AJ Allmendinger wins this one. He's on a hot streak. He's on a hot streak across every series he enters. But I think Brandon Jones is going to put up a fight, and I think he's going to finish 2nd.
Okay. Interesting.
Who are you picking, Jay?
Man, I don't even know what happened to Josh Berry this year at Martinsville earlier in the season, but I don't know. I'm gonna go.
He wrecked.
Okay. All right. So let's you know what? Let's go Josh Berry.
That's a great pick. That's honestly a great pick. I'm kind of mad I didn't take that pick, but that's a great pick.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what
All right, guys. Cup Series action at Martinsville. This is going to be an exciting race. I already mentioned one of my picks earlier in the earlier in the episode. My first pick is going to be Denny Hamlin. My second pick, this one might come as a big surprise for you guys. He did well, and I think a lot of people forget that he actually won this race back earlier in the season. William Byron is my second pick.
Yeah.
He won this race earlier in the season, but don't be surprised to see Ross Chastain run well, Ryan Blaney, Eric Almirola, Chase Briscoe. All these guys could run really well at this race, but I'm going Denny Hamlin, William Byron. Those are my 2 picks, who I actually both have in my championship 4.
Nice. All right, Daniel.
I think Chase Elliott's gonna win this. Chase Elliott is my first pick. My wild card pick, I'm going to go Chastain.
Nice.
I'm going to go Chastain.
That's fair because he finished 5th there this season. So, yeah. I said when we were talking about the championship 4 just a second ago that I do have Chase Elliott winning the race. My underdog, I think I'm going to go. I need like a for sure underdog because I need the points, like in case Chase Elliott doesn't win. I think I'm going to go. Man, because this is probably going to be a track position race. We already know.
Oh yeah.
We already know it because you're gonna have to qualify good. Everything is gonna matter this race. This sucks, man. I hate this car sometimes. But let's go with I'm panicking. Let's go with screw it, Ryan Blaney. I've picked him every week since
Wow.
I've picked him every week, so might as well. Actually,
That's crazy.
let me go Denny Hamlin. I'll go Denny Hamlin. Can I change?
I was about
Can
to
I change
say,
to
yeah,
Denny Hamlin?
you're a Denny
Okay,
fan.
okay,
You can
okay.
pick Denny Hamlin.
All right. I was just making sure I could pick Denny. Okay, so now we are in Mexico at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez for F1 in Guadalajara, Mexico. It's fun. So yeah.
Welcome to Los Pollos Hermanos. I am Josh.
Okay.
You are done.
You are done. All right, Tristan, let's get your podium.
All right. So last season we saw this race pretty much dominated by 2 drivers, and they ended up going 1-2 in the championship. However, coming off of a podium finish last week where he almost won the race, I don't know if this is smart, because this is late. We're in late season prediction form. Do I want the guaranteed point with Max? I'm in the lead now. I have to defend my lead. Oh shit! Don't go to me first. I can't go first. Okay.
All right, Daniel.
Sorry.
I am not going to go the easy pick. Well, maybe it is easy, but I think P1 is going to be Checo.
Yeah, let's go.
Just because that would make everybody so happy.
Yes.
And the championship's already been won, which is why P2 will be Max. Because just let him win. Just let him win. You can lead every lap, keep Checo P2.
But what you gotta remember,
let him pass.
But what you gotta remember is Verstappen is chasing the all-time wins record for a season right now. He's tied. He's tied for the most wins in a season. If he wins this next race, he breaks it.
After Mexico.
Okay,
let
but he
Checo
can do it
have
this
it.
weekend. He can do it this
Let
weekend.
Checo be a happy little guy. Let him celebrate a win. Hopefully not with cheating on his wife this time. Listen, I didn't have my out-of-pocket joke yet. It was bound to happen. It was bound to happen. I think Checo gets P1, Max gets P2, and I'll say Leclerc gets P3.
Okay. Now I can say my podium. Lewis Hamilton is going to win this race.
Whoa. Interesting.
Finished P2 here last season to Max, who I think is going to get second. And then third, I'm going to go. Let's go Checo. Checo P3.
Okay. Podium for Checo. Man, as much as I want to go, vamos Checo. It sucks because I know Max is chasing the champion, like the all times win record in a season right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to pick Checo so bad.
Just passed Fernando Alonso for most GP. I believe he's up to 7th now.
I want to pick Checo so bad, bro. I gotta go Max, man. I feel like they're gonna let Max win just to get it. I feel like it's gonna happen. I'm gonna go Checo P2 though, and then third, I'm gonna go Lewis.
Hey, there we go. Vamos, Lewis.
All
right, guys.
Who are we gonna make our group pick?
Group pick.
Mm.
Dang. Well, there's no truck series this week. I was gonna.
I have a proposition.
Okay, who's your nomination?
I think we go Cup Series.
Okay.
And I think we go somebody that people forget got P3 here earlier in the season. Austin Dillon.
Sure.
I agree.
I
However,
know Jay agrees because if he wins, does that mean he gets double points?
Yeah. He gets an
Take
extra.
this L, Tristan.
I get that.
Sabotaging the game.
It's
Dang,
fine.
he agreed.
He wasn't doing that. I just thought of that as I was saying it. I was like,
It's cool.
I shouldn't have said that.
Now, it's just because I don't think it's gonna happen. So like, I'm cool with it. Whatever. All right, guys, let's go ahead and close this episode out. Thank you so much for listening to Indy Boys Racing Podcast. My name is Tristan Grider, Jay Cox, Dan Chaney over there. We have all of our social media links on the side on the screen. They're also in the description of wherever you get your podcasts. Go ahead and follow us on all of our personal social medias and at Indy Boys Podcast, where we have daily questions, daily posts, and we post our beautiful thumbnails that Jay does. They're absolutely beautiful. We're rounding down the episodes. We have a very special episode planned for the final one of the season. It's going to be awesome. Counting it down. Check out burnoutsports.com, marionphoenix.com. Get your merch at Indy Boys merch. Signing off for Jay Cox and Daniel Chaney. My name is Tristan Grider. Have a good one, guys. And bow, 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 bow. Peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.